Hey guys, what's up? It's Tessa Blanchard, the undeniable diamond and third generation professional wrestler, and today we're going to talk about the top 10 finisher moves in professional wrestling. One of my favorite finishing moves out there, and definitely on the list of top 5s, is Sweet Chin Music from Shawn Michaels. One of the most, memorable super kicks or Sweet Chin Musics that he delivered is probably from WrestleMania against Ric Flair in his retirement match. And I feel like that moment in professional wrestling is something that a lot of people try to recreate, that same emotion in their own storylines and whatnot. I know in Mexico City I had a moment and I was like, the Ric Flair Shawn Michaels moment. And if you say that, everyone knows what you're talking about. Another one naturally is the Diamond Cutter, which is the Papa to the RKO. I believe that is probably, and maybe I'm a little partial because of the name, the Diamond Cutter. But I love that move so much that I've even taken it for my own moveset and tried to add my own little flair onto it. But it's something that I feel like whenever Diamond Dallas Page, whenever Randy Orton, whenever they would hit this type of move, it's just the original out of nowhere. Even nowadays, when people hit that, it doesn't matter if you're on an independent circuit, if you're in one of the bigger name companies, it always gets an amazing reaction, and it's completely out of nowhere. The Stone Cold Stunner. First of all, whenever you hear that glass break, it's like the crowd just absolutely erupts, but it makes me think of The Rock, Stone Cold at WrestleMania. I think it was 17, and that Stone Cold Stunner, I think it was for the WWF Championship too at WrestleMania 17, but that Stone Cold Stunner, man. You can't have a top 5 finishing list without the Stone Cold Stunner. We're also going to add the Canadian Destroyer to that list. It is a move that is across every company, in every wrestler nowadays uses it, but I feel like Petey Williams, the creator of the Canadian Destroyer, has not gotten his flowers enough. So Petey Williams, we're giving you your flowers today. The Canadian Destroyer is on the list. We're going to add the Glamazon's Glam Slam, Beth Phoenix. That is a move that, in my opinion, is so impressive. Whenever I saw Beth Phoenix do that, she had her opponent hoisted above her, like double underhooked. It just showed how powerful she was. And I always say you should have a finisher that you can do to absolutely anyone. Beth Phoenix could do that move to absolutely anyone because of how strong and powerful she is. And just seeing her opponent hoist it up and then she just like slams them face first into the mat, just that move all together is so impressive. And I think that women everywhere have tried to adopt that or a version of that in WWE, in AEW, across the independent circuit. Like, oh, that move is just absolutely incredible. I selfishly want to put my finisher, the Magnum, on that list, the Code Breaker, because if I could add more moves to this list, this will probably be like an extension of it. But Chris Jericho, I've always been a big Chris Jericho fan. The Code Breaker, whether if it's just standing in the ring. I also do a version of it, which is a trapped leg Code Breaker, where if the opponent is on, my opponent is on the second rope, I'll kick their legs out. And then, so they're seated on the second rope, and I'll deliver a front cracker Code Breaker. But my finisher, my second finisher, is diving off of the top rope straight at my opponent into a Code Breaker, and it's kind of homage to Chris Jericho as well. Of course, we have to add to that list Okata's Rainmaker. I am a huge Okata fan, probably one of my favorite wrestlers in Japan. I remember being there in person at the Tokyo Dome for Kenny Omega versus Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, and I think that match, I was actually sitting right beside, well, I should say standing. I was standing right beside the Young Bucks' parents. So watching that match live in person with them, and that match just made me cry. Like, it brought so much emotion to me, and I can't say that there's many wrestling matches like that, but I was so invested from start to finish. Just that match altogether, just one of my favorite matches. And throughout that match, many times, Rainmaker was delivered, One-Winged Angel from Kenny Omega was delivered, who also, we're going to kind of overlap those, is also on the top 10 list, One-Winged Angel from Kenny Omega. Both of them, just their feud was so long in New Japan, went on for so long. Hell, we still see it to this day in AEW, but they know each other's moveset so well that the reversals, the cadence from both of them, it was just Both of those moves, absolutely incredible. Both of them on the list. One Winged Angel by Kenny Omega, Rainmaker from Kazuchika Okada. So good. Without doubt, we have to add the Slingshot Suplex by Tully Blanchard to the list. There's not many times where you see it executed perfectly, where you grab your opponent, slingshot them off the top rope, directly into a suplex, and my father was the master of that. It's definitely something that I have tried to adopt. I remember I wrestled Madison Rayne. I might have been at an Orlando Impact taping, but I was so excited to wrestle her because she's so fun to wrestle. Just in the ring, you can do so much with each other, and with her side, she's not so heavy. So there's moves that I could do with her that I couldn't do with many people. But I remember I tried to take my father's slingshot suplex and change it a little bit into my own. So I remember I lifted her, I slingshotted her off one rope, and then slingshotted her off a second rope into a suplex. That move was super fun, but kind of homage to my pops. We also have to add, and I'm partial and biased because my stepdad, also my best friend, Magnum TA, the belly-to-belly, the original badass, the belly-to-belly suplex. We see it nowadays with Bayley will use it. I'm sure there's plenty of other wrestlers that use it as well, but I've used it as a double down against different opponents. But Magnum TA's belly-to-belly suplex, absolutely phenomenal. I think it's one of the most precise and perfect, just the way that he arches with it into delivering the move is chef's kiss. Alright guys, that's it. That is our top 10 finishing moves. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like and subscribe.